I can tell that we are gonna be friends. I can tell that we are gonna be friends.
Hey everybody, how's it going today? I hope y'all are all having a fantastic week, and if you guys follow me on Facebook, you already know what this video is about. I did a live video on Facebook earlier on in the week talking about what I was going to do with this video and all that fun stuff. So today we're going to be talking about the differences between gender and sex. I am obviously on social media pretty frequently, just with business stuff and personal life stuff, and I see pretty frequently both sides of this story. You know, people who do choose a different gender than what they were born as, and people who think, you know, there's only one gender, male and female. In some ways they're right, but in others they're very not. So my opinion aside, this is all going to be based on scientific research and just definitions of words, and, you know, just kind of walking you guys through what this whole, like, different gender thing is, and androgender, and, you know, just all this spaghetti plate of stuff that we're now facing with. Because yeah, it used to be there were two genders, and, you know, you either identified as a male or a female, but now it's like totally different. So let's jump into this and I will explain exactly what I'm talking about. So to get us started, I'm going to be giving you two very basic definitions of the word gender and sex. So this is from a dictionary online. Seems like a pretty reliable source. But gender is the state of being male or female, typically used in reference with social and cultural differences rather than biological ones. Then a sex is either of the two main categories, male or female, which humans and many other living things are divided under the basis of their reproductive functions. So you have sex, which is your body parts, you know, what you were born with, how you react on a regular basis. And then you have gender, which is basically your identity between the two of them. You know, gender is more of a social construct than it is anything else. Studies have shown that there are approximately 63 genders that you can identify as. This includes male and female, androgen, agender, hermaphrodifemale, androfemale, and just about any other mix of male, female, both, neither that you could think of. So I'll have links down in the description to where y'all can do your own research on that. I just wasn't going to jump into it and make this like a 20-minute long video explaining all of the different genders. But there are just a crazy amount of gender. Like, there are no limits on what you can identify as these days. It goes so much further than just male or female. And then obviously there are two sexes. You know, you're either born with female parts or you're born with male parts. There are the few exclusions of people that are born with both, but usually the parents decide for them so that they're not, you know, living with two different body parts at the same time. That would be a little rough. So just to talk about gender a little bit more, gender is a social construct. This is how people view themselves. This is how they feel about themselves. It's how they act. It's how, you know, what they prefer. And, you know, the social gender roles, you know, of like, well, the woman needs to stay at the house and clean and raise babies and all this kind of stuff. And the man needs to go have a good job and take care of her and all that kind of stuff. All of that has kind of been thrown off because of feminists. Thanks, guys. And, you know, now it's pretty much anybody can do any role that they want. Which makes sense. I mean, I don't plan on quitting my job whenever I get married, you know, that unless I have to, which the career path that I'm selecting, I don't know why I would have to, but, you know, I appreciate feminism in some ways, in other ways it's a little bit ridiculous, but that's not what we're talking about right now. Gender roles. You know, now it's become so normal for just anybody to do whatever they want, that even with the traditional roles, that's still even a little bit skewed. You know, you can identify as a female, but even if you don't have those traditional gender roles, it doesn't really matter, if that makes any sense. And so, you know, usually sex and gender go hand in hand. You know, I was born a female, so I act like a female. I don't know anything else. I don't really want to act like a boy. But, you know, there are just other, you know, there is that about 5% of people who identify as another gender, or, you know, have a different sexual orientation, or, which that's a whole another topic on its own. But, you know, usually, you know, for the other 95% of people, women will act feminine, they'll wear dresses, you know, they'll, you know, sometimes be interested in makeup and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Like, that's not, you're not limited to that, and if you don't enjoy dresses and makeup, that doesn't make you any less of a female than I am. But, you know, usually, girls like feminine things, they act feminine, and boys like guy things, you know, cars or whatever. But, you know, I think in some ways, what they refer to as cisgender or cisgender, or however you're supposed to pronounce it, is kind of looked down upon these days. And I don't really appreciate it, but apparently, cisgender people who act the same way that they were born have too much of a privilege these days. At least that's what I was reading on one of the websites I was looking up. And people are mad about it. They're mad that, you know, people who identify as the same gender as their sex are, I guess, praised for being normal. Normalcy is just another social construct. Just like gender is, you know, there are going to be people who don't approve of it. There will be people who do approve of it. There will be people who think that it's totally normal and people who think that it's totally weird. And that's okay. People are allowed to have their own opinions on whatever thing they want to have opinions on. Personally, I don't really have an opinion on it. You know, people are going to do whatever they want to do, and my opinion isn't going to stop them. And me looking down on them just because they prefer to act a different way than I do, I mean, that doesn't make me any better of a person, so what's the point? So anyway, I hope that kind of clears up this muddy water situation that a lot of people have based on gender versus sex, and, you know, just kind of figuring out what on earth all of that is and how all of that works. And maybe you'll think for a minute before you post something about there being only two genders, or sharing a post that's, you know, discriminating against people who choose one of the 63 different genders. You know, we're all human. We all have our quirks and differences and opinions and all that fun stuff. So, you know, just think before you post, and that goes for anybody too who, you know, maybe does identify as a different gender than what they were born with. You know, cisgender people aren't the enemy. Just because it's not what we're used to doesn't mean that we're bad people. And, you know, I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to help people understand that, you know, some people just think differently, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. I hope you guys will have a fantastic week. Always remember to stay fantastic and stick with your foundations.